We are live right now. Yes, we are live again. I just got done watching the Ben 10 special, namely Ben 10 versus the Universe, the movie. Ben 10, Ben 10,010, and the special Ben 10 Extinction. And I gotta say, I'm kind of surprised how well the reboot did it justice. Especially in Extinction, which brought back a little moment, a series, a saga in Omniverse, where practically they use like the Omniverse, like the whole other dimension with like Ben 23 and Wen 10 and Future Ben coming together to face Eon and Vilgax from wiping out all of the other Bens in the essentially the Omniverse. But in Extinction, like the older Ben use the Omniverse to use Alien X to gather as many Omnitrixes as he could find and gather all of the Omnitrix symbols. And during that time while I was watching it all, I finally got the sequence of pattern down pat. Like, this is what the Omnitrix looks like currently right now. And yeah, I got like other part. Now I'm not as confused anymore. Finally noticed how to do the whole thing with the prawns as I looked at the box and looked at Kevin. Yep. But sadly, I tried to combine all the parts, but they haven't gotten in the way. The little thing with the little notches, so they kind of got in the way. But I made it close enough. I even like did these. And I even learned that this is the anti-trick for Kevin. And it still kind of fascinates me that not only were there like many different things going on, but time travel played a big part in Ben 10. And I am like so fascinated with that. But it doesn't like bow on the whole thing that we should watch how to not interact with the other Bens or create a paradox. It's mostly like just subtle mention to what goes on in the timeline, and it doesn't like really been brought up again. And even like I'm sure people have seen Extinction already. But there's even a scene when Ben was like, "Oh, I don't need anyone here as Diamond Head. Like, I don't need anyone. I can take care of myself." The future Matt pushes Ben, saying, "You take that back, kid. You are lucky with what you got." That is like a call out to like most of the complaining fan base that is like so irritated by how on repeat, like how reset Ben's behavior is as a child. And I'm kind of glad that they had to touch onto that. The sun glowing up again. But I'm just kind of amazed that they touched on that. Like, the complaining fan base, like, yeah, like, future Matt, like, alternate dimension Matt, didn't like the fact that, like, young Ben was so overly, you know, hot-headed he was. And wanted to let him know that his hot-headedness would get him into big, deep trouble if he's not careful. And I kinda like that, like showing Ben that his hot-headedness could lead him down a very downward path, and if he's not careful, then he might well lose everything. His family, his temper, all because he got careless. For him to take on Alien X and to have all the bends that he took the watch from, like, he took all the omnitrixes from the bends because he doesn't want them to lose what he lost. Like, he had a bit of good intentions, but he went with it all the wrong way. Because, like, Alien Force Ben, Ultimate Alien Ben, even Omniverse Ben are like older and, you know, they're older and have more experience in knowing what teamwork is. And it had to take Ben, like the current Ben that we know in the universe, that we know of the reboot, to know that teamwork really does make a difference, even though it's been hammered like multiple times. Teamwork needs to be a thing. Teamwork needs to be a thing. Yeah, he learns it for the umpteenth time. Oh, hey, liking that. But he learns it for the umpteenth time. Oh, great. Now the sun dimmed again. I kinda like this thing now. It's not like the latency build them on the trick like it is like from the latency where you have the original on the trick or the alien force or the ultimate trick. But this is very close in having both Ben and Kevin be rolled into one. Even the season 1 of the reboot on the trick. With these little pings. So, yeah. Now I finally got it paid down. But it's just goes to show, I love Ben 10. Even though I'm like 28 years old and still ongoing, I still love kids shows that learn basic values and also great superhero battles. Even though I am at like a stage where I like anime a little bit. Ah, this is some good icy water. But I just love Ben 10. Like, say what you want about the reboot. Like, say what you want about the reboot, like, happening, like, reverting all of this, but it's still, like, superhero kid fun. And I still enjoy it. Now, I probably know that, like, there's... Really? Rare thought. Why? But, anyway. I still love Ben 10. As amazing as it is for the whole franchise to be so intertwined, and yet they did title drop. They used an Omniverse as a device, not just for like a season, like a series name. Ben 10 Omniverse. It's not just like a title name, it's an actual device where it's the entire universe of Ben who have Omnitrixes. Especially Albedo and the evil Ben, plus Ben 10,000. And now Ben 10,010, and even Wen 10, who is Ben. But surprisingly, they don't even touch, they don't touch that one villain. What was that one villain name? I now forgot. Era something. But anyway, I still like it as a whole. Even watching like the live action Ben 10 movies, and even the animated ones, it's still all kids show fun with a kid that can use a watch to turn into different like superhero aliens. Learning the different values of sacrifice, teamwork, and morality, and learning what it means to be an actual hero. To sacrifice, make plans, and strategize to save the ones you love. And I kinda like that. Where my persona is now. Oh yeah, where's Raymond? Like, where my persona is now, like a dimension warrior who can turn into a dragonoid and also has an Omniverse light device that can turn into different Pokemon. Thanks to my friend Alexis December, who had been one of my fur affinity friends for like a long time, who I don't even get to talk to anymore, and I wonder how she's doing. I miss Alexis. And because of her, I have like an Omniverse like device that'll turn me into Pokemon and any other species that I want, called the Infinitrix, called the Infinity Omnitrix for short. And instead of like the hourglass, instead of like the little hourglass, the little emblem is actually my symbol with like the little circle around here. Bring up an image of what I'm talking about. Da, 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 da. This thing. Like, imagine this thing, but place it on this. Actually, you don't have to. Imagine I have an image right here where I made it. Where I have created it. Infinitrix model. Here we go. See, here is my first model, which is the Alien Force model. This was this model from the Omniverse from the Omniverse considerate that I used for like a long while. Even around My Little Pony Limited Magic, where most of it like centered around. What am I doing? What am I doing? No, 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 no. What happened? Hey. Get back there. Silly window. And this is what it looks like when it's opened. With its own little hollow wheel dial. And this is like the current reboot model that I kind of have right here. It appeared to be on only because of the light. So yeah, this is like the reboot model that I based it on. Slash Series 1, where all of the circles like mesh together into like the diamond. Into like a more open square. And these are the different colors of ultimate choices that I had created for the Little Warriors. Like pink for Arlita, gray for William, purple for Odd, yellow for Ulrich, cyan for Jeremy, and green for Yumi. And I made those all within like my own like headcanon. Instead of like using the PET like I thought they were gonna use. But I did like Ben 10. Like this was gonna be like using the ultimate matrices was gonna be a plot point, like a sort of morpher device that I was gonna use in Power Rangers Leoka Force. To have the Leoka Metal fuse with their ultimate matrices and an Omnitrix and make them morph into Rangers. Yeah, not really original if you think about it. But it is best as I could come up with. And ever since I found out how Ben 10 actually was in the grand scheme of things, I became like so fascinated with it and played around with it a lot. And I'm still playing around with it to this day. Whenever I want to, go fast, add extra muscles, fly. Like, I have, like, certain forms that I can turn into. But anyway, back to the whole topic at hand. Like, say what you want about the reboot, I still think it could be good given the chance. And the reboot kind of has things differently, especially in Benton in the Universe, where Tetrak is still evil. We don't know that he was the Diamond Head. We get the return of the Incursion from Benton Omniverse, the race of frog-like aliens that invaded Earth for a sort of council of justice. And even in Benton vs. the Universe, we actually get to see Asmus. And I really don't know why Asmus would rather stay in the null void. Like, could he just as, like, done away with trying to escape the null void and go with Ben? It's not as impactful as, say, I don't know, Ben 10 Secret of the Omnitrix, where Ben had to, like, endure having a countdown before the Omnitrix malfunctions and blows himself up. We finally get to see what Asmus looks like after, like, a whole movie's worth of getting to see it, getting to hear his name. We find that it's Galvin. Asmus fixes the Omnitrix and offers Ben an entirely new form, in the form of a Toku star, way big. And quite eventually takes on Vilyak. And it's the same thing that happens in Benton in the Universe, where it's not just Ben who takes on Vilyak, but also Kevin as well. And I think that whole fact with the Omni Key in fixing the Omnitrix like that, I'm kind of surprised how well it's done to do that. I still think it was still kind of cool for, all these references and callbacks to the earlier Ben 10 series making a resurgence in these vessels. But it was still kind of impactful in the last fight where Vilyak gets incredibly super humongous, Gorgon enormous, and it had to take Asmus to tell Ben to not give up and remember the training that Ben did in Null Void to go in. Yeah, essentially, here it goes. Like, lift up the Omnitrix, input the whole sequence of keys, and then presto, he goes way big. And it was kind of impressive, I'm not gonna lie. But it was not as impactful as Secret of the Omnitrix was. Like, in Secret of the Omnitrix, Asmus was a little bit annoyed that the Omnitrix fell to such a weakling such as Ben. But at least Asmus understood what Ben tried to do as a hero and offered to help the Omnitrix. But in Ben vs. the Universe, Asmus wanted to have the Omnitrix back and had to take Ben to have a little bit of a test to see if he was even worthy of keeping the Omnitrix by taking on the aliens that have initially been like the first cast of the first season Ben Tennyson from the Legacy series, such as Rickjaws and Ghost Freak and Big Guy. But even in like Secrets of, even like in Ben vs. the Universe, Asmus was seen as more of a jerk. It's like, no, you're not getting the Omnitrix back, you little complaining, whiny whelp. And it had to take Ben to like completely get on Asmus' nerves. Like a little whiny child who like understood that all these aliens were not believing Ben when the world needed him the most. And everybody was like, no, you are taken for Villiat with, like, in Ben's defense, he actually did take the form of Villiat once. But that was, like, way before. That was, like, a little bit before Ben knew that, well, yeah. It has... But I'm just like, so... Thank you, Raven. Your comment is like so kind. Thank you very much. I will stay strong. I will stay strong for you, brother. I will. For surely I will make it through this and keep having a better life as I should be. And yeah, I am like in the cup of making all sorts of these different projects. But, you know, it's all coming together quite nicely. But I'm still like, Asmus was being more of a jerk to Ben in the Universe movie because, like, understandably, they have not met Villiat. I mean, they haven't met Asmus then till now in the reboot. but they have not known what tetract is. And I'm kind of surprised that it was all Atmos doing, actually, to get Ben framed for being Vilyak, in order to send him into the null void, in order for Atmos to claim the Omnitrix back. By simple telekinesis, just blew my Omnitrix now. It was that simple. Like, doesn't Ben ever know of the failsafe or an automatic switch to even get the Omnitrix off? Like, wouldn't Atmos really tell Ben that? Well, then that would kind of pose as a risk. Because if Ben were to ever take off the Omnitrix, there would be a very good chance for it to be lost or stolen. And there are like many enemies like Vilyak who would be able to swoop down, swipe the Omnitrix, and take it for himself. That was pretty much like basically common knowledge in the cartoon scheme of things. But I'm just like, you know, so there would not really be any like choice decision into having Ben take off the Omnitrix anyway. Even though Ben, like most desires, is to have it be taken off him. But he still needs it when it needs to be. But then again, the whole thing about Ben extinction, that it right back to the fact that Ben is still thinking about himself, with is what Billiam and lots of other reviewers kind of dote on. They dote on the fact that Ben's personality seems to reset each and every episode. And every other episode, Ben has to relearn these lessons about teamwork, values on being a hero. It doesn't always have to be awesome. But it's just, no, it'll reset. And Ben still has to learn these different kinds of lessons. Even for a 10-year-old, like, for as much as amount of time Ben would be, like, in near-death experiences, as many near-death experiences Ben has to go through, he should be able to learn all these different, morals of family, teamwork makes the dream work, along with other things. And it's getting kind of repetitious. But the question remains is, whatever happens to you basically is, will it happen to you again? Which is the question. What do you mean by that? Will it happen to you again? But yeah, kind of like what I've been saying, like through pretty much 4 seasons and 4 movie specials, Ben had to relearn and relearn and relearn battling as many space and earth bad guys time and time and time again. And again, he had to relearn those same exact lessons. Importance of family, importance of teamwork, importance of being a hero, everything. And you think after almost every near-death experience, every end-of-the-world scenario that they came up with, you think he would be able to learn them all by now. But he's still edgy, he's still cocky of himself, he's still full of himself, still hasn't learned much other than cartoon logic. Saying, stating the obvious, no, there are things coming this way, you should watch out. And also other characters, stating the obvious as to what happened, taking a little comedic pause and being like, that just happened, didn't it? Or, they are behind me, are they? I gotta admit, that's, clever comedic timing. And I did kind of like the fact that in, Ben 10 versus the Universe, I think so, Ben 10 versus the Universe, they were battling against Steam Smite for, the upteenth time, and I kind of like how sassy he was being. With how boring, repetitive that he was being. I like that. I like that joke. I have this baseball thing, blah, blah, blah. We've heard it 1,000 times. This is game boring. This is not repetitive. I have this great big machine that will destroy the entire universe. Are you sleeping on me? Huh? What? I'm sorry. Listen, it ain't repetitive. You're not coming with anything challenging for me, and I bet your goons are just right behind me. See, it's not even a challenge. I know what you're gonna do. So let's drop the lame act and just get on with our lives. And I kind of like that. It just shows how repetitive and, over the top dramatic some cartoons are trying to be. And it's what's this again? I have to point out stuff like that after like 4 seasons. 4 seasons of having to go through all of that, all the rigmarole. 4 seasons with like 10 or so episodes, going through the same exact thing with the villain of the week and whatever. It's kind of funny. I kind of enjoyed that. The tape is like a parody in of itself. Like, and then not up until like Philyak return, where everything is a unique and dire situation. And when Ben gets bored, he gets bored. Still kind of awesome though. That's what I like about cartoons, is that they have so many of these tropes that are just like funny to listen to and funny, easy enough to get like a kick out of, even as an adult who's been like in the theme returning viewer of the supposed shows. I know all these tropes and everything. Oh, here comes the dude with the heart of gold, but is ultimately a jerk. Oh, here comes the jerk ass. Here comes the person who... Here comes the character who bounced off everything like breaking the fourth wall. Like, you have to expect those tropes. And it's also kind of funny when actually the villain Ben fights with sometimes agree with his statements. Like in Extinction, he was fighting with some bozo on top of the rust bucket, and when finally freed herself and went to Grandpa and popped the balloon that was hypnotizing him, Grandpa was like stopping the rust bucket, and Ben was like at Shop Rock. He was like, "Oh, the fun's over. Everything's getting good." And some both was like, "I have to say, I kind of agree. It was getting good." Like, like, some both would get flipped off and wiki toys, like, down onto the ground, like it's wiki toy, because he's a clown. And I actually did like Ben 10,010, where all these sorts of different enemies were working alongside Gwen, who was the president of Bellwood, because it's all in the means of survival. All because, of course, Ben is kind of selfish. And for future Ben to like make a whole big mistake of doing the whole time paradox thing, and then when he brings young Ben back to the future and lesson learned, you don't want to piss off Gwen. Like, Ben, what have you done? With that cartoony yet menacing, like, growling face like, Ben, why have you done? Now you're putting all your Ben in danger, ruining 2 separate timelines? You're an even more worse idiot than you could ever think of being. But Ben will never change. Even if he does like age and cartoon logic, if he does turn 16, his personality doesn't change. He's still level-headed. But at least when he's older, he's able to say what hunt next and being more responsible as a hero toward the city that he defends. Which I do kind of agree, I do sort of agree. I like that. That they are, taking, not only they name drop Omniverse, but Ben also name drops Alien Force of all things! They wrote that in. Also the part where Ultimate Alien Ben shows off the Ultimatrix. You can see that he put it on upside down. He put the Ultimatrix on upside down. The activator is supposed to be near his, on top of his palm, not down here on his wrist. He put that on upside down. And it's a gauntlet, not really a watch. But anyway, I'm in oh jeez, it's 8:39 already. $8:40. I'm gonna have to wrap it up here. Thing is, I like Ben 10. It's a good series for all it's worth, and I recommend giving it a watch. Even if you don't like Ben 10, it's still a classic. It's a good classic to watch for if you're into aliens and superheroes. It's good enough to watch. And I have agreed. I don't agree with most of its tropes, especially with Ben, Ben's personality being reset in most episodes. Sometimes I just watch it for the action. And to me, action is good when it's engaging. That's what I like about cartoons. Especially when I'm into watching cartoons such as Bakugan, anime like Swan the Spider, So What. Also have you seen the recent episode in English of Swan the Spider, So What? It's so hyped up, cool, and cute. and also like Pokemon, which is like, so it brings a smile onto you, just how amazing to find the Pokemon world, even if you don't like it or in fear of some moment. It puts a smile on you. It's like an anime that you like to pick up and then watch again, just to see what kind of adventure Ash gets into. And see just how much, like in Pokemon Journey, like the way they discover each new Pokemon. I dropped the Crest of Hope. Oh dear. I'll have to go find it. Anyway, I ranted long enough. I'm gonna go take a shower because Sunday our shower night. I'm gonna go try to get some rest and get me fired up for what comes Monday. And I'm kind of hoping that Monday kind of goes well. Now I'm kind of excited. So, yeah, that's my final take on it. So, go check it out for yourself. Go watch the special. I think I put a link to... Oh my goodness. I am putting the link to one of the specials in the anime. In the description, so you can like go watch it for yourself and see the special extinction if you want to see it, where I went to go watch it. But anyway, hopefully you guys have a good night, and I'll see you all in the next video. I'm not sure when I'm going to be going back to doing my other project, like the book reading. Maybe in another week, because I got things to do this week again. Especially doing my whole collage of Dragon deck thing that I wanted to do. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video when I decide to stream again. Keep tight, and also stay beautiful, and have fun.